Welcome into the only place you want to be on a Friday night. Delmarva Sports Insider, along Sports Director Trayvon Miles, Brandon Bossert, and Drew Williams. I'm Julian Sador.
That's right. Welcome into the only live and local show giving you all you need to know about sports here on the shore.
That's right. We had some big battles this week, guys, and we learned something about some of these teams out there. And the first battle that we're going to get to is a pretty big one last night.
I would say so. I'm going to put it out there. That is probably one of my picks for the Bayside game of the year, a rematch in Salisbury between Y-High and Crisfield, an electric atmosphere.
Yeah, now the last time these two teams met up, Y-High, we know, blew the doors off this matchup, nearly won by 20 in the graveyard. So we knew last night would be different. And Crisfield, boy, did they come to play in this game. The big key to getting started would be this guy, Cortre Fontaine, getting active early and often, driving past the defense for a bucket. Y-High in transition, Taiwan Hardy nailing the three, and then later on, before the end of the first quarter, they're going to work it inside to the big fella, Jason Handy. 20 points, 14 boards, Tribe out to an early lead, but the Crabbers answered in the second. Huge game for this guy. Rykel Waters knocking down a three from the corner. Next possession, top of the key, bang. Finished with a team high, 19 points. Crisfield up one at half. Second half, here comes the Tribe. This kid Antoine Wilson had a game. Picks off the pass, takes it the other way for the dunk. That play changed the momentum, got the crowd up. There's Hardy, no look to B.J. Cook. 14 points, 7 boards for him.
That's right. The Crabbers not going away, though. Jerron Brown with a nasty step back to cut the deficit. But this sealed it up right here, leading by 3. Wilson gets the outlet pass, takes the contact, and finishes the and one right here. And Y-High all but wraps up the Bayside South with a big 73-67 win.
Everybody was doubting me in the offseason. Everybody still doubting me, and I just had to show them what's up. We beat them the first game at their house by like 20, so you know they had a chip on their shoulder, and we just kept playing hard.
We knew they was coming back in with a vengeance. You know, we went up there and gave it to them a little bit. We know they'd come down here and get a good game, so we just had to fight through and come out with a dub. It came down to playing defense and rebounding. As long as we got the rebounds and we play some defense, we know we could get easy buckets on the other end.
You know, a lot of things to love from that game. Crisfield staying in the fight. I love the way Cortre was calling for the ball time and time again. He wanted to make it a difference the second game around, but Y-High just too good. I felt like Crisfield could have put their foot on the gas.
Yes, they could have.
And just didn't and let Y-High stay in.
There were a couple of mistakes that we saw down the stretch of the game. I talked to a couple of coaches last night that said the same that were in attendance. Just lack of execution towards the end. But I want to say we got to give Crisfield credit. If they play the way last night, the way they did for the rest of the year, they are easily the second best team in the conference, which we have not seen from anybody. Nobody's kind of established that. And they could get back to College Park. But I will say Antoine Wilson's coming out party was last night. I think people knew he had the ability. He's a very athletic kid. But when he is aggressive, he is deadly and he can be great. He's a very young, shy, quiet kid. But when he gets on that court and he shows that aggression, you saw it last night, took over in the second half, 14 points, and he was the difference.
Well, the one thing that I have to add is that's the thing that we keep saying about a lot of these teams in the Bayside South is if they play like this every single night, consistency is a big thing when you go out on the floor. What are we going to get from you? When Y-High takes the floor, we know what we're going to get. They're going to be efficient down the stretch. They're not going to make big mistakes down the stretch, which is why they're undefeated in Maryland right now. So I want to see more consistency out of Pocomoke, out of Crisfield, to see who is going to be that team that steps up.
Absolutely.
And we're going to toss it over to Drew Williams now with more games from around the Bayside. Drew?
Thanks, Brandon. Well, tonight, pretty good game as well. So we'll start things off down in Berlin. First and foremost, the Seahawks honoring their number 1 fan, Annie Sneed, folks, as they get ready to take on Pocomoke. And the Warriors, well, they came out hot. Charles Finney, he's going to fight through some traffic and lay it up for 2. Then it's the long pass down the court from Houston to Brandon Snowden. Snowden going to drive up and just hangs in the air, gets the lay-in to fall. Pocomoke up 15 in the first half, but the Seahawks got late going. Luke Murgett, he's going to knock down the 3 to beat the buzzer. Then the kick out finds Kobe Higgins in the corner, and he knocks down a triple to cut more into the lead. And finally, Ontario Collins, he's going to drive through the trees and gets the lay-in to fall. Decatur cuts the lead to just 7, but still down 14 at the half. In second half, Finney splits the defenders, gets the layup to fall. 30 points in the game for him, guys, but Decatur not going away. Drew Howeisen on the fast break. He throws down the two-handed jam, Team high 19 points for him, but just not enough. Nigel Houston's going to corral the rebound, just puts it back up. This kid's a monster. And the Battle of Worcester County goes to Pocomoke, 74-49.
We've been ready all week, so it really doesn't matter who's next. The next opponent, we got to play just as hard and give even more effort. We did what we were supposed to do in the first half to Drew, and we kind of held them under, but when we get a big lead, we can't have lows where we let teams back in the game. If we're going to be good, we got to be good for 32 minutes.
Now up north yesterday, Kent County taking on Colonel Richardson. And early on, Colonel finding Elijah Palmer. He's going to get it underneath the basket, lays it in for two, and lets his defender know a thing or two about it. Then it's Jay-Sean Freeman finding Logan Cannon in the corner to knock down the three to tie things at 5 in the first quarter. Then it's Freeman again. He's going to throw down the humongous one-handed slam, and the Trojans are up 5 and feeling it. Braden Mitchell, though, he's going to get the Freeman pass behind the arc, and it's going to rattle around the basket, and it finally falls for the triple. Kent County up 7 at half. Second half, though, Deontay Dickerson going to do what he does. He takes over, spins inside, stops, hits the jumper for a tough 2. Then Dickerson puts on the moves again and lays it in. He had 25 points on the night. Dickerson going to miss this 3-ball, but Elijah Palmer's there to clean things up and put it back up for the Colonels as they get the comeback with a 60-53 win over Kent County. And then on Tuesday, Bennett coaches showing love with the rest piece to Kobe Bryant in the game. It was Javon Purnell's show. Man, nice pass by Rasheer Evans, and Purnell throws it down. And next possession, Purnell, one-hander off the break, getting it again. Big possession. And then another one. This time, the alley-oop. He had 18 points for the Rams, but Bennett just kept their heads down and got going. DJ Bellin, what a force this kid's been. Game-high 19 points, including this three-pointer, plus the foul. Clippers down 1 with 2 minutes to go. Corey Smith. Pretty nice step back for him. He puts his team back up in front. Back the other way, though. Not great defense. Kwame Snell is going to come up with the layup to put Parkside back on top. And then the Rams would miss the front end of a 1-and-1 to put it away. And the foul, Josiah Johnson. He knocks down both free throws to put the Clippers up 1 with 2 seconds to go. Last chance for Parkside. The shot's going to be just too long, and it's out. Bennett avenges a 9-point loss to Parkside a month ago with a 69-68 road win.
Knocking down free throws and just playing defense, we had to make sure that we locked up, and just like I said, the free throws was the big part, especially at the end of the game. Those last 2, those were important, and everything's gonna come to us. We have games individually, so it just come to us and we can just play together.
We got momentum going into our next game. After losing 4 straight, we on 2-game win streak, just trying to keep it pushing.
And then the top 2 girls teams in the South, Bennett and Parkside. The Rams took round 1 of this matchup, but they came out rolling and balling. Jackie Wright's going to float one over the defense and gets it to fall. But Bennett went on a big-time run in this one. Olivia Owens playing a big role in this game for Bennett. She knocks that one down, and then check this move out by Peanut Smullen. She's been putting on the moves this season. Clippers take an 11-point lead in the second half. But Parkside, well, they caught things going and woke up in the fourth quarter. The offense gets rolling. Amanda Ballard with the layup here, and she's going to get it to fall. Now, just getting things working for Parkside as they roll and win 57-49. The Rams now have a 2-game lead in the South with a handful of games remaining. And guys, before I go, we got to give a huge congratulations to Y High senior Leanna Pettit. With this layup in the first quarter on Tuesday against Washington, she joins the 1,000-point plateau, and the way her teammates celebrated her milestone says it all. So we'd like to send a big congratulations to Leanna and her family. So overall, pretty successful. Another one in the 1,000-point club. But guys, already off and running, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Drew, thank you so much. So as we saw, another great week, another week full of action in the Bayside. We talked about Crisfield a little bit in Y High. Obviously saw highlights of Pocomoke there. Is that the thing for everybody outside of Y High?
Yeah.
Is consistency? Is that what it is?
I think Brandon hit it on the head when you say if these teams can start stringing together some victories, because right now is the time to do it. Mm-hmm. They can start playing consistently and on their level to their potential every single night. Case in point, surprising loss by Cambridge last night. We thought Cambridge was going to be the team to maybe overtake Kent Island in the north. It's not to be so. They lose to North Carolina last night. Just an overall inconsistent night for them.
Right. In the Bayside, we basically have Y High, and then we have a bunch of teams that we really don't know about. It's pretty murky for almost being into February at this point. It kind of feels like we're going to get to the Bayside Championship, and it's going to be Y-High taking out the North winner by 20 points or something along those lines.
We've seen that before.
Right, we have.
We've
but
seen that last 2 years.
But unless the North can get their act together and figure out who's that team that's going to really take the bull by the horns and string together some victories and really get some cohesiveness going. Because unless we see that, we're going to see Y-High blow out whoever wins the North in the championship game. And we'll see what happens in the playoffs, but we're only 5 or 6 games left in the season, so we're getting down to crunch time here.
Yeah, well, it's been Kent Island so far. I think Brandon just doesn't realize because the last time Brandon went to Kent Island, they got spanked by Decatur.
No, they didn't get spanked. They didn't get spanked. They lost by 1 point. But the only 2 times I've seen Kent Island, they didn't look up to
But Decatur's nothing
task.
in the South.
No.
So that could have a little bit of an effect on why we don't really think Kent Island is what they are. They have been playing some really good basketball, so we'll take that into consideration. But we've seen this movie before, folks. Let's be real. All right, that's going to do it for the A block. When we get back, we're going north to Delaware, an interstate matchup between the Henlopen and the Bayside. Who won? I have an idea. We have the highlights when we come back.
Hi, my name is Drew Howisen. I go to Stephen Decatur, and you're watching the Delmarva Sports Insider.